Well, hello there. It's me again, Lori B, Grungy Girl Journals. I am back with my third video today. So proud of myself. This is the one I just completed, and it is called Le Journal Michel Ma Belle. And you'll see in a minute where I got that name from. And I have two very good friends called Michelle. So you could kind of say that this is in their honor as well. Before I get into, it'll be a couple of minutes before I get into the book because I had a lot of questions about how I did the front cover, how I got it so grungy. And so I wanted to go over again some of the products, well, really it's all of the products that I use on a pretty consistent basis when I am making my grunge. I also wanted to show you a little bit of before and after. I was lucky enough to find another one of these books in really good condition. It's the same book. I don't know why it looks so much smaller. See, same size. This is in a little bit better condition than this one was. This one was a little more faded out, but the process that I used, I faded it even more. And it was about this dark with some rough spots in it. So, I mean, it grungied up really well. And I will be doing another one with this book at some point. I don't think I'm ready to do another one of these. It was a lot of work, and I want to kind of take a little break from the whole mixed media on the front and probably I'm doing another French journal, but it is going to be probably just maybe fabric covered without the wrapping, or something just a little simpler. But I will be doing a second one. I've already started. It's going to be kind of like this one, as you will see. Here's my fabric, which I got on eBay. Here is I actually found a early 1900s, I think it might even be late 1800s, hanky, wedding hanky. And what's unusual about this one, although it's gorgeous in itself, is the bride's name is right there in the middle. I think I have it upside down, and I can't read it. I have to get a magnifying glass out to read it. But so I have the startings of another journal. I also have a signature going for it. These are one signature journals, and so I've already got some of the signature together for the second journal. So that will be coming next. And also I wanted to show you real quick, this is how I make my softcover journals. I take my fabric, and then I put a piece of this batting, a layer of this batting, same size, and then I put a piece of, usually I just put cardstock, and then I put another piece of batting on top of that, and then my inside fabric, which in this case is ticking, blue ticking. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. And then this goes here. And this one's going to cover up a lot of that ticking, but that's okay. It'll kind of peek in. So then that'll go there. And that will be the journal cover. And I just gutted this book. It's in really good shape. It's from the 1920s, 1922, and the pages, although they look really good, they will break after a few. This one's calling me a liar. It will break after a few folds. It's in really good shape, and it smells wonderful, like that antique book smell. Not musty, just a really, really vintage smell. What I used for the frame is I actually found this on Facebook Marketplace. And what this was it was a double frame. It was connected right here. So, you know, it bent and it stood up and it bent. And I just gently removed one frame from the other. And it has a concave glass. I don't know if you can see that, but you know, it's like a little bubble. And I wanted to use the glass because I wanted to be able to see the book underneath the frame. This is just this. And the nice thing about this is, although it was kind of pricey on Facebook Marketplace, it was kind of pricey, but can you see me? Oh, good. I actually, if I use this the same way, I will have 4 pieces that I will be able to use on different books. So I have one, I'll be able to use this on something else. It's the back. And then I have 3 and 4. And I really like the back. It's not a mirror, but it's just wearing on the metal. Looks pretty cool. And as you can see, I rusted it up quite a bit. And this frame is embedded into the book. I took a Dremel and traced the frame, and then I put like a channel with my Dremel into the book, and then I set the frame down in it. Of course, I'm limited to the depth of the book board, but I wanted to do it just enough to give a little more stability and not to be glued just directly on the top of the book. I wanted it to be part of the book board. And there is glass in there. And the products that I use for my grunge, I can't tell you any particular order that I use when I'm doing this grunge. I just keep working with it until it comes out the way I want. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. I use the same products every time I'm working on grunge. It's just in a little bit different of an order because I'm not really paying attention to what order I'm going in. And those products are Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium. This is the Crazing, and that just gives you a really fine crackle like you'd see on china. I don't always have the best results with this. I'm still learning about it. I also use the crackle paint, the Clear Rock Candy, which I love. And this comes out when it dries, and it's best to let it dry overnight. When this comes out dry, it's shiny. So there's ways that you can use your matte gels. This is a matte on top of it to get rid of that shine. And I do this with my fingers, so I get a nice nether texture going on top of it. Let's see. I used glossy accents to put my frame down inside the groove. I tried to use this for my wax, but one thing I have found about it is the next time I use it, I'm going to need to put something in it to make it a little browner. It's quite orangey, and I really didn't care for the color once it dried. So this is a big old tub, so I'm hoping that maybe I can use some sort of ink, walnut ink or something, to cut that and make it a little darker, a little more rusty red. But that is from Finnabair. I really ended up not using this. I did, but I kind of scraped it off and used something else, which I'm going to show you. This, besides being my favorite coffee, is my rust dust. And I was on YouTube in a live chat on Saturday night. Of course, when I get on film, I can never remember words. The Craft Squad on Tour, that's what it is. I was watching their live, and they were talking about rust dust, or Debbie Kipp was. And this is my container. I actually have a bigger container. This is my small container. And there is some rust dust in there. And I use that for my rust, which it's messier, but I like the end result a lot better. So I would use either my PVA glue. This is by Lineco. And this is a lot like art glitter glue. Or I would use my Liquitex, either one, my matte gel, which is a clear matte. I would use that, and then I would sprinkle the rust dust on, and then let it dry, and then I use a dry brush to just get out that dust that I don't want on there. And you just keep layering it. I also did it on, I rusted the frame with a rusting solution, which was vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and salt, and kind of enhanced it with the rust dust, as well as some of these alcohol inks. This one is called Aqua, and it is by Ranger, I believe, and it's an alcohol ink, and it's a beautiful blue. And I just touched it here and there with the blue, a little bit on the sides. I may have even used a little bit of this. This is called Verdigris. And it's made by Ranger as well. I also use this. You can see some of these darker spots. And this is the Distress Ink Vintage Photo, Tim Holtz. And this is pretty concentrated. So usually what ends up happening is I'll put a drop on it, let it move around, and then I'll spray it with water, and then I'll blot it, and just keep going until I get the effect I want. A lot of this texture that you're seeing, the flaky, That is the matte gel, Liquitex matte gel, and the Collage Medium Crazing, and the Clear Rock Candy. A lot of that. And I use, I use my ink pads, stamp pads, and my applicator to distress. I'm sure I probably used this at some point, which is the Distress Spray Stain in Picket Fence, Tim Holtz. And one of my favorite colors, which I used on the fabric, is the Tim Holtz Distress Spray Stain Weathered Wood. And it's a beautiful bluey gray color in the stain. If you get this in the oxide, it's more of a gray, I think. It's more grayish and chalky. But this is I like this much better. And I use that, like I said, on the edges of the fabric, as well as the sari silk. Not sari silk, seam binding. These are some vintage buttons, which I rusted up, and these are metal buttons. The back. So I really didn't want to put anything on the back because that turned out so well. And I don't remember how many pages it's got, but it is a one signature. This is one of my smaller books. This is a flower that came off of a bridal cap for the veil. And this just, I am including it to go around the, I forgot to put it on there. It's just going to tie around the journal. And that's some seam binding that I tea stained. And I'm thinking I might even put a pocket inside the book that you can keep that in somewhere. I might do that before I list it on Etsy. So this is the wrap. And the insides are just postage and remittance stamps that I blew up. I just enlarged them. I did some distressing. And you just take this off when you want to write in the book and put it on, and this would be so pretty sitting on a table when you're not writing in it. Here is the journal. I did some doodle stitching on the edges, on the front and back. What do you call these? French knots? I'm not an embroiderer person, but I like to doodle. pretty doily that I found. It was perfect. I made these tassels. Here's the ticking, the blue ticking in the back. And I used heat and bond. I don't think I mentioned that. I used heat and bond to put these all together, all the layers of the cover. I used that to as an adhesive. And then I hand stitched the doily around the edges. This is just a little surprise. Here I found this little French to English, English to French dictionary, pocket dictionary. Wasn't in the best shape on the outside. Fumbly fingers today. So you open this up. And here's Michelle. Michelle. See that? And I think this is a Tracy Fox wallpaper, digital. Not sure on that, but I will check it out. This was the end paper to the book, and the person had written in pencil here in French. This is a Graphics Fairy print. I have 6 doilies, and they are all tea stained, and I also used Patty Pockets stains that I got on Etsy. I think I also used some of that on the cover. It's a little tricky to use that on the cover, on those fabric covers, the linen covered hard cover. Little hard because it absorbs into the book board, so you usually end up having to dab it away pretty quickly, but I did use some of that. I used the Weathered Wood Distress ink to stain these doilies, and they're all different. And this one was too big, so I just cut it down and re-glued it to the size I wanted. This is tracing paper. Here is Michelle again. Pretty lady. This is some onion skin stationery. It was a really pretty blue when I started out, but I tea stained it, so it turned a little green, but it's a really pretty blue-green. And everything's in French. And there's lined paper that I stained. Really pretty digital. I think it's a Graphics Fairy. And here is one of the reasons why I named this book Michelle, because I had some piano roll paper of the song Michelle. And even though it's by the Beatles and it was in the 60s, and this book kind of references an earlier date, who cares? It's a French thing. So I used it because, you know, he sings French in the song a little bit. And I'm not going to sing it because number one, I can't sing, and number two, copyright infringement. So there's just the front of the piano roll. Here's some of the paper. Here is from another dictionary, French dictionary, and this one has journaler on it. Vellum. Just a passport page. And I got some original postcards, French postcards. There's a couple of them in here. I like that crunched up look. And I'm pretty sure I got most of these digitals from the Graphics Fairy premium website, which I'll put in the description below. It's at a hat shop, a ladies' hat millinery shop. And here's, I think this is an application for a passport, but I thought it was kind of funny that maybe this is what Michelle looks like in real life. And then when she's all dolled up, she's this glamorous person. And this is from a address book. Really, really nice paper. This is French newspaper digital. And I put some money in there. It's not real. Did I fool you? Just different types of money. I think this was from this is a seller on Etsy, this digital. I will put it in the description box. But I did this on, I think it was parchment paper. And I really worked with this one a lot and really got it nicely aged. It's very, very soft. And there's a stamp on there. So what they used to do is they would fold them up in a way that, and then I guess they would use a wax seal, something to keep it closed, and then this would be the address on the outside of the paper. Oh, that was right. I love these owl clips. I found this article, and it's some ladies making lace. Another digital I aged up. This is a couple of pages from that French book. I use the cover. Isn't he cute? A map of Paris. Receipt. I love this. It's another digital I found on Etsy. And this is actually an invoice. But on the digital you could see where the wax seal was. I put a stamp on there. Here's the other side of that piano roll. Michelle, my Belle. Glassine bag. And these have some French stamps. These are from France. Put a few in there for you. Another postcard. This is an original. Lots of writing space. And the doilies. It's a menu, I think. Yes, a menu. And I signed it and dated it. That. So this one will be for sale in my Etsy shop after I take pictures for the listing, which will probably be tomorrow. I'm running out of flight today and I'm kind of tired. I got a little bit of a headache. So I will probably take pictures of this in the morning and list it in Etsy. And if anybody in the meantime is interested in this book, please feel free to comment, leave me a comment or Facebook message me. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and I will talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.